We are so back. We are so back. Donald J. Trump is the 47th President of the United States of America. Or I should better say, the 47th President elect of the United States of America. Trump won, despite all the states not being called. We are certain of his win. He has surpassed the tally of 270 electoral votes. He is now 277 with the wins of the three swing states, of three of the most important swing states, or actually four of them. He's won Georgia, he's won North Carolina, he's won Pennsylvania, and he's won also Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is what officially gave him the win. Guys, history has been made by Donald J. Trump. He became the oldest he's going to be the oldest president to ever be sworn in. Other than that, he is also the first president since the 1880s to be elected and serve two non-consecutive terms. This is something that only another president, who I don't remember the name, I'm sorry, my history, my knowledge on US history is not as great as you'd like. But still, Trump won, which is, I think, great news for the whole world, especially for the USA. I'm very happy he won. As you know, I endorsed him, and I didn't endorse him because popular people endorse candidates. I'm not popular yet, but I said that I support him, and I support him, and I think he's by far the best choice. I'm really excited to see Elon Musk working in politics, involved in politics. I'm really excited to see Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, maybe help to solve the crisis that there is with health in America. I'm very happy, very excited to see all this happening, and especially I hope that Trump is able to stop the conflicts which have been going on between Russia and Ukraine, stop the massacre of tens of thousands of innocent civilians that has been occurring in Gaza. And when I talk about massacre, I talk about the deaths of innocent Jews and innocent Palestinians. I talk about both of them. I have not sided with any side of these conflicts. I haven't done it yet because I genuinely know nothing about the conflict, therefore I'm gonna avoid it. But I am very happy we won, and it feels like we are so back. It feels like we are so back, and it feels like a fairy tale because he's basically won the presidency in Pennsylvania. I know he hasn't won it in Pennsylvania. I know that he actually officially won the race in Wisconsin. However, as soon as they called Pennsylvania, well, it was as 266, or 267. It was at 267 actually, because then Wisconsin, that was the last 10 points. Those were the last 10 points. And, if you add the three electoral votes of Alaska, is up to 70. And Alaska is certainly going to go to Trump. Some states are yet to be called, even though, Michigan, Trump is leading by, I think, 100K or even more than that. He's won Pennsylvania by a couple of percentage points. He's won Wisconsin. He's going to win Michigan. He's going to win Nevada pretty comfortably from what I've seen. He's going to sweep all the 7 swing states. And, if he had campaigned a little bit harder, maybe in Virginia or Minnesota or New Mexico, maybe he would have been able to make those competitive. But, it doesn't matter. What matters is that he won the presidency. And actually, the Republicans have performed rather well in this election because they flipped the Senate. So now there is a Republican majority in the Senate, and actually they're about, or maybe they have already done it, to flip the House too. So Republicans would have won if this were to be the case. Republicans would have the House, the Senate, the presidency, and other than winning the electoral votes, the president has won also the popular vote. Trump is leading by like 3 or 4%, 5-6 million votes. It's more than 71 million votes. It's probably going to end up with maybe 73, 74 million votes, something like that, which is almost as much as the votes he ended up with in the 2020 election, despite losing it. And Biden got 81 million votes. Unfortunately, the record won't be broken, but however, he's broken many records. And guys, this is just a historic comeback. It is something that I don't think many people saw coming. If we were to ask If we were to ask 3 years ago to normal people, listen, do you think Trump will be the president in 2024? Do you think he will win the 2024 election in 2021 after, January 6th and all that mess and impeachments and the attacks on him and all those sorts of things? If you had asked people back then whether they believed or not Trump could be their next president, they would have said absolutely no. Well, those people would have been wrong. And Trump now is the 47th president of the United States of America. And he's going to serve a second term. He's going to be the oldest president to ever do it. I hope that he manages to hold on and be cogent, but I am hopefully will be cogent. If we compare Trump now with Biden 4 years ago, which is more or less the same age, both of the candidates respectively in 2024 and 2020 were as old as they were equally as old. And if we compare the energy of both candidates, there is no comparison. Trump just a couple of days ago had 4 rallies. Each rally lasted for more than 1 hour and a half in one single day, finished the day at 2:15 a.m. And he probably went to bed at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Like, he's just built different. He's a workaholic, and that's why he's one of the most successful people in the planet. He's one of the few people who succeeded in politics, in TV, entertainment, and in business, because he's a multi-billionaire. He's worth billions and billions. He's the president of the United States of America. He's become the president of the United States. Well, he's not become the president of the United States yet, but he's going to become the president of the United States, which is, I think, very great news, as I said again. Now let's, go back a little bit, and this video is going to be more succinct than the other ones, but, let's just go back to what I think went wrong for Harris. Like, guys, the problem with Harris is that her administration has been terrible, and she can't distance herself from her record and from the things she's done and from the things she's contributed to. That's the biggest issue for Kamala Harris. The reason why America chose Trump, and the reason why Trump won by a modern-day landslide, because it's not a landslide of the likes we've seen with maybe Bush, but I'm talking about the father of the last Bush. So it wasn't a landslide of the likes of the Reagan ones, and of the Bush ones. However, it was a modern-day landslide. This victory is it is not as big as the one in 2008, but at least it is as big as the one in 2012. Certainly much less competitive than 2020 and 2016 in particular. But what Kamala Harris struggled with was this, certainly, and the fact that I don't think she's a great candidate. Now, whether somebody is a great candidate when it comes to policies depends on the person. But I don't think that you can say that Obama, for example, wasn't a great candidate. I've got no opinion about Obama because I know nothing about the guy. However, we cannot deny that he was eloquent. You cannot deny that he was persuasive. So he was a successful and good candidate. On the other hand, Kamala Harris is none of those things. She's not persuasive in any way, shape, or form. Her administration hasn't been successful in any way, shape, or form. And the reason why she has been fired by Americans is very simple. Americans want to live an affordable life. The economy is the main reason, is the main issue in this election, as it should be. And Americans are like, well, 4 or 5 years ago when Trump was president, I managed to afford groceries, I managed to do things, I had more money, was richer, and therefore I'm gonna vote for a guy. And even people who don't like him necessarily, we have people who don't like him and say, okay, this guy is not so, fine, he's not so. However, they chose to vote for him because their lives were better 5 years ago than they are now. That's very simple. That's as simple as it gets. And that's the way it works. And that's why Trump has won the election. I think he rightfully won it. And the live stream wasn't as successful as I had wished, but it was my fault because I did things wrong. I admit it. And that's all I have to say. I think that's all we have to say about this election. 2028 is going to be interesting, but I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to start talking about 2028. We will see what Trump is going to be able to do. I feel that with the Senate, with the House, and with a great team, and with the great team is formed, and with his experience, if he doesn't sell out to Jewish media and to Jewish donors, if he doesn't sell out to those and prioritizes them over the American people, I think he's going to do a hell of a great job, and hopefully he's going to get the world out of these endless wars, and hopefully this trend of endless wars is going to come to an end. Hopefully it's going to have a very big impact on that, but I'm sure it will, and I hope it will. Let me know your thoughts about Trump's win, and what can I say about this? What can I say other than this? See you with new videos.